Hey Sagittarius, welcome. See what we have for mid-April. Mid-April. Oh, more. All right. Sagittarius. Mid-April. Sagittarius, so many options, so many things that that you have in mind, but I feel like it's more so on an emotional level. What do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to invest my time? I think that romantically you might have a few options here too, but you know, you're being put in a situation where you have so many options here, but choosing one is really the hardest thing. I think that it's not that you're not choosing because you don't want to choose. There might be a little bit of fear here, but it doesn't have to. It's more so what I'm seeing is that really what it is, right? Is it really? Because you've been kind of misled before, to be honest. You've been, because the thing is, you know what? So it's one of those things where when somebody's with you, you know, you guys are both invested emotionally, and then you kind of tell one another, okay, let's dive deep, right? And then you do, but then they start to dive and they see how deep it is, and then they just kind of go back and to the surface. But you are a little bit too far down deep, and then you end up kind of suffocating and drowning yourself. And the person is not there anymore. So you're trying to avoid situations like that to happen again. So that's why there is a hesitation when it comes to that. But I feel also that, to be fair, it's kind of your fault to a certain point because you decide to go too deep too fast. And it doesn't have to be like that. I think what the learning, the purpose of it is to, you know, go in. That's fine if you want to swim, but make sure you put your floaties on. You know, see how it goes, see how the water is. Is it too deep? Do you need to have your scuba gear? You know, whatever it may be. But you have to ease yourself. You can't just jump all in and expect somebody to be willing to drown with you. It's just not prudent. It's not grounding. And as a result, you decide to not really experience that. there you want, you know, your life to look a certain way, and you're going to make sure of that by just setting up your life in that way. But as a result, you lack the emotional connection, you know, what one aspect of life that you actually want as well. And so that in itself is, you might think that, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, everything seems fine, especially financially. But what we're really not being able to understand is that we are overly controlling situations in our lives, when sometimes we just have to go with it. Sometimes we need to be willing to experience, just go with the flow of things. Going with the flow can be a little scary, because there's no control there. I think that the main problem is that when we're going down the river, right? We're just letting the current take us. Look at the current as your emotions. And you know, we can't really control emotions either. I understand that. But it's more so not taking things so seriously. Not investing too much too fast. Not physically, but more so emotionally. If the current is easy, there's no real danger to drown. But if there's a torrential, when it rains and the water goes down fast, I mean, that's easy to. So the main thing really is to control how much we're willing to invest emotionally. Little by little, dipping our toes. You don't want to do that. I know that. You don't want to be disciplined when it comes to that. I mean, you're Sagittarius after all. But temperance is also your card. We need to be disciplined when it comes to our feelings. Not that we should shut off our feelings. That's controlling. We're not really trying to be controlling. Well, I guess by me just talking about it, I can see how difficult it is. But then, nonetheless, there needs to be some discipline there. When it feels good, know that we have to do step by step, not take it from 1 to 10. Prudence. We can learn a lot about prudence when with Virgos, rather. They're very careful, very methodical. They invest little by little, and they're okay with it. They're also a mutable sign, so you know a little bit about that. But it's really going with the flow of things. Being able to express yourself in a free way. Just not being afraid to jump off and see what happens. But I think the main message here is jump off, but with a parachute. swim with floaties, right? There's always that safety there, but you're not really neglecting yourself from experiencing the experience. Driving a car with insurance, whatever it may mean to you. You're allowing yourself to go, but there's still a safety net. So allow yourself, don't cheat yourself of the experience. Be willing to adjust whenever the time is right. And put yourself in a position where you're able to adjust. What's the advice? Take the pressure off of yourself. Because if something feels like it's forced, then you know that's not the right way. Right now, what you're doing, you are really focusing on what you can control. Finances are huge right now. Mean a lot to you. Family means a lot to you. But even if it's finances and if it's family, if you feel the forcefulness coming from yourself, then you know something needs to change here. You don't have to carry everything like that. Because you're not doing yourself any favors by doing that. And it's okay to choose to do something that maybe before you never expected to. You never saw yourself, it's not even saw it, but you never expected yourself to do something like that. But times change, people evolve, and I mean, after all, life is being able to experience things that we haven't before. Not to our detriment, because I don't feel that that's to your detriment. But it's more so to really enjoy freedom, truly. Not by creating freedom. Freedom is not created. Freedom is just freedom. Okay? Sag, that's what I have. If it resonated, like, share, subscribe. And if you want a personal, the link's down below. Good luck.